So I'm back. It sounds as though the car is like, I'm having trouble breathing and then wheezing. Yep, that's exactly how it sounds. Oh shoot, I need to get gas. You know what, I am very thankful that I have a job in which I can go ahead and get tips and such, so that way if I so choose, I can go ahead and use tip money to like pay for gas or food or anything like that. I say food because me and a friend of mine were meeting up for the first time since like I think August or so, and we're hanging out, so it's like yay. So yeah, this is one of my friends said, I was like, so I think you're just desperate for a relationship. So yeah, I was honest, and he was like, no. And then finally he realized I was right. Just to be in a relationship, not to like, and to save someone. Like he had the savior complex, I guess. But yeah, he had that mindset, and I was like, no. I'm gonna double check my work schedule, and then based upon the work schedule for next week, I'm gonna call. I ended up taking a nap. So with me working 2 nights in a row, my sleep schedule is a little bit screwy, so I'm really hoping that with the fact that tomorrow I have to be awake from like 10:30 because I'm driving over there to like 6, 7, 8, something like that, that it will basically force me to stay awake during that entire time. So yeah. Oh yeah, so today was my first trip. No, was the first class meeting for there we go. First class meeting for meeting up with people, or not meeting up with people, but the first class meeting for us going to England, basically. And so basically they're like, okay, for one of the classes it's considered a hybrid, so technically we meet like 2 days a week, technically. So one is a, homework online, and then the other one is face-to-face. And then for the honors, so it turns out it's honors with lab, so I was like, okay, it's that. In order to still be in honors, you have to have a 3.2. Well, last semester, my GPA took a nosedive, and last semester I got like a 2.4. It was really bad, like really, really bad. I was like, it is what it is. Let's see what I can do this semester. Oh well. I know my motivation is really strong there. It's really bad. I think I can do it. I think I can do a lot better. So what I'll do is that once I'm get back, I'll start working on homework, because it should be early enough where it's like 6, like what was it? It's 5 now. So I'll be back probably around like 7, 8. If I work like a couple hours on homework, take a shower, and then get ready for bed, I should be good. So yeah. So what I've learned to do is basically start up my vehicle, let it run for a couple of minutes until it dies, and then turn it off, and then after that start it up again. However, this is not healthy for me or my vehicle, like horribly unhealthy. So yeah, I was planning on calling today, and then I took a nap until still feel groggy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, I still feel groggy. So, like, yeah, I'll be, I think, yeah, I'm going to try and adjust my sleep schedule. It should be adjusted, like, during work tomorrow. So that way I can stay awake during the day. Oh, yeah, Sunday. Speaking of, like, schedule and such. So Saturday I'll be going to work, and then Sunday I plan on going to church. And what I found that if I'm actively involved with a church, then I'm a lot more likely to attend the church, or like, you know, attend services on a regular basis. Well, I'm not a member of this particular church. So the guy explained that basically in order to audition, so I'll be auditioning for their choir. There's only like 10, 12 people there, that I have to become a member. And it's like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm like doing stuff in order to kind of make sure I'm a lot more active with church, basically. So yeah, he's like, in order to become in order to be actively involved, or like become a part of the choir, I have to become a member. So I need to find out how long the membership lasts and such, because I'm like, well, I plan on moving out sometime in May. So I don't know if it'd be worth it or not, but hey, like, we can definitely see this. So yeah. And I passed it. Okay. I was supposed to take a left, and my GPS is tiny, and in order to record videos, it has to be like the main screen, and the map is tiny. I should have turned on the sound. That would have been a lot better. So yeah. It's actually warm-ish out today compared to other days, which feels nice. It's like low 60s though, so yay. Anyway, so I'll be doing auditions on Sunday, and then what else will I be doing? Oh, yeah, the class. Okay, so I got there, and the teacher for honors, yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't think I can join it, because my class, or like my GPA took a nosedive last semester, like a major nosedive. So my overall GPA just for this time while I'm at the school is like a 3.1 something. So I'm like, yeah, there's and technically to be part of honors you have to have like a 3.2. So I'm like, yeah, you know what, there's not really much of a chance as of right now. So yeah, I'm like, never mind, just never mind. So yeah, what else is there? Yeah, so it's like the teacher explained, well, I can just go ahead and like just be in that class. It's like, okay, cool. Well, what happened was, what else happened? He explained, like, this is what's going on. He needs, from me, I'm the only one who hasn't completed the sheet. And he explained, basically, for the allergies, we try and pair up someone who, like, let's say allergic to cats or dogs. Like, I'm mildly allergic to cats or dogs, and I was like, it's basically like if I don't have on lotion or something, then I break out into a rash. So it's bad enough for that. And he's like, oh yeah, you can go ahead and just put down that you're allergic to cats and dogs, and they'll try and place me with someone who does not have animals in their home. My immediate response was, no, like, I love animals. I want animals. He's like, okay, then don't put it on. I was like, okay. It's just that in my case, I'm like, I just need to make sure I have access to, like, Vaseline or really good lotion. And he explained also I need to know your medical, like, history, because if you, like, in terms of, like, the medications and such that you're taking, because let's say you accidentally forget it, which happened on one of their trips before, is that a lady, she was taking some kind of psychotic medication. So I don't know what she had. I just don't know. But to give an example, it might have been bipolar or like depression or something else like that. I don't know. But she was on it, and she accidentally forgot it on this trip. And basically she started this medication between the first day and the day that they, like, left for England. And so I was like, wow. And so whenever they got there after like 2-3 days, she's acting weird, and he's like, okay, what's going on? And it turns out she accidentally left her medication in the USA whenever she went over to England. And it's like, oh no, like, oh no, not good at all. So what ended up happening was so she left. So what happened was that because the USA rules on medication is completely different from other countries. Like, for example, I have a friend over in Japan, and their medication, they have really strict rules on that, to the point that my friend here in the USA, she has, like, really bad cat allergies, and she can be around cats if she's on that medication. But Japan, because of the whole opioid addiction and such, where Great Britain was like, oh, you won't let us into your country? Okay, you're going to go ahead and we'll give you all these opioids so that you will be addicted to it, so you have no choice but to allow us to come into your country and trade, basically. So they have such strict laws due to that she can't even find those drugs that she needs, because their allowances, or not allowances, but they don't allow those drugs basically in their country, or like they don't sell them in their country. So I was like, wow. So over in England, they basically found out the equivalent of her medication over in England. And thankfully, the person who's in charge of honors, his sister is a pharmacist. So he contacted his sister, and he's like, hey, so this lady, she is on these medications, and basically what happens if she is not on them. And so she goes over the symptoms of, like, not being on that medication. And then what ends up also happening is that so she goes ahead and lists the symptoms of what happens when she's not on those medications. And then they end up finding the England or British equivalent of those kind of medications, because it's like, okay, she needs to be on those medications, and this is what's going on because she's not on those medications. So they were able to find that out, but, like, yeah, the honors teacher changed his stance, or, like, not his stance, but his timing for when to release that paper, because it's like, okay, we need to know what kind of medication you're on. And, like, yeah, and it's like 2 months between the time that you end up starting the course. Hey, Domino's, what's up? And I know it's from this particular location. But yeah, so that ended up happening, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like that's horrible and horrifying all at the same time. So yeah. Like, and the teacher could tell just by my expression, like, oh my goodness, like some of the symptoms of like this was going on, like this was what she was doing and such, and I was like, oh my goodness. So it wasn't good at all, and she completely forgot it, and it's like, I don't think she will do that again, because yeah, hopefully not, like, forget the medication. So yeah, but he explained about that. Also, they were like, yeah, so the things that we factor into the overall cost is, of course, the flights. They also explained that we would be going to West End, which is like their version of Broadway, and going to see a musical. And they explained also that even though it's a musical, yeah, they explained that it was a musical, and I was like, that is, like, I'm thinking, that is so cool. And what ends up happening is that they explain, you know, there's like 5 or 6 different musicals, and go ahead and list options 1 through 6 of the musical that you want to see the most, or like this, the most, or the second most, and third most. And so that way, if like option A is not available, we have option, like these other options in which you can see. And it's like, okay, great, cool, that sounds wonderful. And so I, you know, in that case, I was like, that sounds like a good idea. And they explained, like, yeah, there was one option in which we considered, and we're like, you know what, that's too scandalous, like, we're not going to do that one. And it's like, okay, so the cost that I'm paying, part of this goes toward watching this musical. So they're like, it's too scandalous. And so I asked them, so what's the musical? They're like, we'll tell you later. I was like, okay, because, you know, I'm older than a lot of these students, so that's okay. So what ends up happening what ends up happening is that like, class is done, we're talking, as soon as, like, there's only one student left, the teacher explains, hey, so-and-so, I need your sheet of, you know, your allergies and general information sheet, because I'm the only one that has not turned it in. Can you get it done by Sunday? I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. Pretty much, I got it done, except for I just haven't submitted it. So what I need to do, I need to reorganize it. So I had it one way, and then I basically need to go ahead and reorganize it, so that way it explains, like, why I want to go to some of these locations, basically. So, like, one of them is about, what is it? Some of these locations I want to go and visit, because I'm like, well, it's where William Wilberforce lived, for example. And it's like, oh, like, or lived, or attended college, or like things like that. And it's like, that would be incredible just to go and see. And basically he made some major reforms in the government, not in the government, but in Great Britain's, how they did stuff. So I think he ended child labor, or enacted child labor laws, so that way you don't have 12-year-olds or 5-year-olds working. Instead, they go ahead and actually attend a school, so that way they can learn. And it's like, that's like, it was really impressive. And then also him and his wife, they advocated for different things to help out poor people. So, like, I think they may have established like soup kitchens or homeless shelters or something similar to that. And so in my case, I really want to get a biography on William Wilberforce. I don't know which one. I need to look through some of them. But I do know that I want to get a biography based upon William Wilberforce. And the teacher, it was kind of funny, since I'm talking about books, the teacher was like, yeah, make sure, travel or pack light. Excuse me. He's like, pack light, because basically, more than likely, you want to get souvenirs. And some people, whenever they get souvenirs, they sometimes even pack extra clothes in order to take with them. So he's like, pack light, so that way you can fit all those souvenirs. And I was like, yeah, I have my army bag with me, so I can carry it around with me and such. So I'm like, I can see about doing that. Like, basically put a few things in there, have my purse with me, maybe a small, like, maybe overnight, so like small carry-on, in which just in case anything happens with our luggage, I have a pair of clothes, I have a nightgown with me, for example, and I'm okay. So yeah, I love flying close to bed, but I'm turning right here. Literally, I'm turning right here. I'm turning right at this light. So yeah, what else was I going to say? So yeah, I was like, what was it? He's like, yeah, what was it? But yeah, so we talked about that as a class, in the class as a whole. Sorry, squirrel moment. I'm thinking. So yeah, but yeah. Oh yeah, my friend that I was like, you're just desperate for a relationship. He realized, you know what? I'm not ready for a relationship. So I'm proud of him. He got his driver's license. I don't know when, but he did get his driver's license, from what I can tell. He can't drive at night. And so he finally realized, I'm not ready for a relationship. And I think he was trying to have like a savior complex, where it's like, I'm going to rescue you. And so it wasn't like, I'm going to go ahead and be interested in you for who you are, but it's like, I'm interested in you to try and help save you type thing. And it's like, you know what? Like, I totally get wanting to save people, but it shouldn't necessarily be to the point where it's like, I'm going to go ahead and save you. It should be more so to be like, I'm like, made to help you out, but also like, I want to be there for you and with you through everything. Or like through as much as possible, basically. So, and I say as much as possible because like, I understand, like, as a female, I don't always understand what guys are going through or how to help guys. Or like let's say I was trying to help out my significant other with some problems. There are some things, realistically, I have no idea how to handle it. I have no idea what I would need to say or do in order to make sure that he makes the right decision, or makes him feel persuaded to make that right decision, if that makes sense. So, for example, like, some guys, let's see, might tell a woman one thing in regards to doing, like, let's say it's medical checkup, and it's like, yeah, I can tell, like, you should totally have this surgery, and basically we'll just place you on Tylenol. And yet a female's like, no, I'm in extreme pain. And turns out she actually needs something a lot heavier than like Tylenol, for example, because as a woman it's slightly different. Where it's like, I'm actually in pain, I need something heavy. So yeah, that's why, in regards to that, yeah. But yeah, so what else happened? Oh yeah, so after everybody had left, so he mentioned about the sheep. After everybody had left, and like it was just me and the two teachers. So actually it's the man who is in charge of, I recognized him whenever I saw him. I was like, who are you? Like, I've seen your face before. I just can't remember. I was like, have I seen you before when I was younger or what? I was trying to remember. Turns out, like, I've seen him whenever I was in the drone program. Like, I know exactly who he is. I was like, well, they mentioned he was in charge of like this particular area, and I was like, you're in the drone program. That's how I recognize you. Like, so there was that one. The other one is actually the teacher of the creative writing course. And so I was like, hey, you know what? I need to take this course, And he, like, what happened, he was like, yeah, in order to have the course, you have to have a minimum of 8 people. There were only 3 people. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And he's like, yeah, sometimes, or usually he goes ahead and lets people know about the class, or of, like, being in it, or not being in it, but he lets people know, basically, hey, you need to go ahead, or like he lets people know, hey, go ahead, see if your friends can join it, things like that. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, dang it, passed my turn. I did tell my friend I'll be there in 30 minutes, so I am glad I told him that, because I have not been there. And so at least this gives me plenty of leeway. Because according to GPS, it's like it should take about 24-25 minutes. Cool. And so I put down 30 just in case. And I see no turns, like none. Where are the streets? I see no streets. I don't even see houses. Oh, there's a house. So anyways, so there's that. There's a creative writing instructor. And I was like, you could have told me. Like, you could have, like, told me, hey, go ahead and, like, invite your friends and such. And so I was like, you could have asked or something like that. He's like, yeah, he usually does it. But he's like, sometimes it's a hit or miss. Like, hey, we might have to close out the class because, and he's like, I've never had this happen before. And I was like, I got onto him. I was like, you could have asked me. Like, I told him I'm amazing at marketing. And I said, not amazing enough where I can perform, like, where it's a failing trampoline park and bring it back where it's doing, like, one of the top 3. Like, there's no way. Like, I tried, and I was like, yeah, there's absolutely no way. I found out, like, exactly what was going on, and I was like, this is a bad location, and I'm competing with, like, another trampoline park. There's just no way that I can save this. Like, there's, like, they picked a horrible location. Now, it's a large location, but it's a horrible location. So, yeah, I was like, you could have told me. Like, and basically, or told me about it, or sent out an email to us 3 students And like, I could have advertised about it, where basically it's like, hey, like, and I'm like, I'm amazing at like marketing. And so I told him, like, yeah, basically the dance concert that was like recent, I went back, what was it, 2024 in the fall, and I was like, wow, where is everybody? Maybe 100 people. It was really sad. I went ahead and advertised, and yeah, they had more than 100 people. And then I was like, yeah, I went ahead and made some suggestions to one of the teachers for the program, the videography program. They had between 3 and 5 starting at COVID, and then since then. And I was like, since after COVID, like, 3 to 5 each semester. And I was like, yeah, I went ahead and told him like what he needed to do. And since then, they basically are having like 18 people in their class. And I was like, you could have told me. I could have like given you suggestions and things like that to really boost up the numbers, because I was like, people don't look at flyers, at least not in the area that I'm at. People go ahead and listen to word of mouth. Like, you have to tell them for them to be like, yeah, I'll come. So I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, he's like, yeah, but it's selective. I was like, like, what? And he's like, yeah, this has never happened before. I didn't think it would happen because this has never happened before. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I also need to go to my storage unit for one of two things. One of my rings, because that way I know technically I'm single. Yeah, I know I'm single, but that does not mean that I'm interested in every single guy. And then that way guys stop making assumptions. Oh, you must be like interested in me. It's like, no, dear sir. Like, there's no way I would be interested in you. It's annoying. I'm annoyed. I turn them down flat. I actually have standards. Yeah. Yeah, I actually know what I want, instead of being like, oh, you're so pretty, I'm gonna go ahead and fall in love with you. No, dear sir. Like, I don't think you need me. I think you need therapy. And Jesus. Both. I think you need both. Especially if you're under that delusional. So yeah. But anyways, so yeah, I need to get a ring from storage. Aside from that, so I went ahead and, so earlier I mentioned about going to asking the teachers like what musical was it, and which you felt was scandalous, so we can't do it. And so I asked them that once everyone was gone. And immediately they were like, oh, it was the Book of Mormon. I was like, what? That's scandalous? And he's like, yeah, whenever it was first released, like half the audience walked out. I was like, I think this is it. I hate this. Okay, so what is, I hate whenever the numbers are not clearly visible, because you can't see the numbers. And I have no idea which house exactly is it. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, there's no one behind me. So, yeah, okay. Oh, there it is. I think it is. Okay. Anyways, so it was the Book of Mormon. As soon as I found out it was the Book of Mormon, I was like, what? And I was like, yeah, during their acceptance speech of the award, I was like, yeah, they went ahead and were like, yeah, we'd like to thank so-and-so for basically we'd like to thank Joseph Smith for basically creating the Book of Mormon, because without him, we wouldn't have this award. And I was like, I would have loved seeing this. Like, really? And he's like, yeah, half the audience walked out. I was like, you've got to be kidding. So, yeah, was I happy about that? No. Do I understand? Yes. But I was like, I would have loved to see this just because of you. So yeah. Anyways, I gotta go. I'm here. I wasn't sure if it was him or not, like his house or not. But yeah, I will talk to you later. Oh shoot, I turned off my lights. I'll talk to you later. Hope that you have a wonderful day, wonderful night. You'll see this video whenever I get back because it's so long and it'll take forever to upload. So yeah, bye. I love you.